All right, we got another episode of Playground Politics. Yo, you got your boy Ulysses S. Grant, aka the boy Crispy, aka Northeast Philadelphia's finest, Your Highness. Oh my god, dude. Let's get this. Alright, let me fade this out here like an absolute pro. Let me just try this real quick. Like it's my job. Alright. Everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Playground Politics International Podcast. I am your host, Michael Francis, the Praying Mantis Coyle, aka Crispy. Yeah, dude, I'm here again, you know? Rack's out there saving the world with Planet Ocean and the Aqua Teen Hunger Force, you know what I mean? He's out there killing it. Let me clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. Oh! All right, so let me just get this out of the way. I want to say thank you to everybody that listened last week. It was my first solo expedition. And it came off lovely. The amount of support that I got across the board was absolutely ridiculous in a good way. I don't know if ridiculous could ever be in a bad way, but thank you to everybody that reached out. I don't know where that came from. If you missed it in the last 10 minutes of the previous episode, I kind of went a little bit in. I just spoke some things that have been on my mind for a long time, and I just let it out, dude, and it felt good. And since then, a lot of things have been in motion, like the ocean, or a bottle of potion, or some lotion, you know? And it feels great to get the support, you know, big things to come, big things popping. And yeah, but I'm still here, still white, ugly as ever. However, okay. Anyway, dude, let me digress. I got some stories. We got story time with Crispy. We got last 10 minutes. We call that the realness. I'm going to do it again, dude. I'm just going to talk about real shit, dude. A lot of these podcasts, we just talk about little fluffy things like who's on the cover of a Wheeze box or what artist is walking across the country for dolphin awareness or, you know, what your favorite kind of beef, you know, Korean barbecue is and all other kinds of randomness. But the last 10 minutes, we're going to call that the realness. And I stole that off that dude Rosenberg on New York's radio station, the realness. I wish I had the drop, but I don't. It's all good, dude. I'll make my own drop. And we're going to get through a plethora of topics, a kaleidoscope, if you will, of topical goodness. So sit back, relax, and just get ready for this, dude, and just feel this all up in them ears. You know what I'm saying? Pause, and let's begin. You're tuned in to the Playground Politics. Let's get it going. Another solo expedition. Like it's my job. All right, cool. So first, I don't want to get into story time just yet, but I got a good one. It's going to be how I met Eminem. Now, this is not the Eminem that you're thinking of. This isn't blonde Eminem. This isn't even the brown-haired Eminem after the blonde Eminem. This is pre-blonde, brown-haired Eminem. We'll get into that with story time. But right now, let's get into these sneaker topics. Shall we? Let's see what happens. Are they crickets? Is that what? Damn, dude. People don't want to talk about that? Let's fall back. Nike ID. What happened? Nike ID all of a sudden just came out of left field, you know, and the Squirrel Master told me he's his bitch and all this other stuff. And they did a cactus plant flea market blazer made out of corduroy. And people jumped off the moon for these Johns, which is crazy because you probably couldn't give away that shoe if it was a general release. But, you know, I'll fall back. It's a corduroy blazer, guys. Yes, you can put multiple colors on there. Yes, it's pretty cool, but it's a blazer with names like Blazer and Laser and Taser and my secret weapon, Milana Juskavanovich. But, yeah, it's cool, but the ones that I like was the Levi's edition that they had that was available for 13 seconds. Wow. The amount of options they gave you on that Levi's joint was incredible. All the different colors of actual Levi's denim you could choose was was amazing. Now, I got there super late, dude. I was sleeping like I ate 37 Xanax. I was sleeping like I literally went back in time and was hanging with the Wolf of Wall Street and them. Dude, man, I was so sleeping on that, dude. Oh, I wish I would have made one of them. Some of the designs that I saw on Instagram were amazing, dude. Shout out to you if you got through in that Levi's drop. Now, I understand the hype on that. It was $130 for a custom product. That's dope. If you can keep that price point with some uniqueness, some hype, put a little bit of hype in there, make that a hype sandwich. Awesome, dude. I really, really love that. And it's just funny how these customs come and go. Like it's called Nike by You now, right? They had to switch that up. I'm not sure if I'm feeling that. Nike ID was the staple. Back in the day, Nike ID was amazing. I got a couple IDs from I think it's like 07, 08, around there. They used to come in a drawer box with a felt liner. It used to have dust bags, and it wasn't bespoke quality, but the quality is great. I still wear a couple of my 95s, my 97s from back then. Really, really, really dope stuff. And then they kind of got homogenized. It kind of got a little bit generic. And they only gave you like 3 or 4 options. It was like, here, choose one of these 3 shoes. Like, nah, I'm not really with that. I think them going back to the drawing board and giving us something unique is cool. And I think that there's a wide array of options that they could go from here. They see that it works. And I would love to see more because I'm all about customizing. I have been from the jump. I prefer the New Balance option. It's made, up in Boston. It gets shipped to your house within a week. It's amazing, the quality, union pride, support people that support you, that kind of thing. So I'm all about solidarity and taking care of anything made in America, dude. I'm with that. And but no, I see you, Nike. I see you, Nike ID. I see what you're doing. I like it, and I'm trying to give you my money. I just can't seem to get around to doing it, but you won't let me. Anyway, so Nike ID, I see that. All right, Supreme. They did their first drop. Now, I'm not a big Supreme guy. I'm old. I'm a little bit washed. I'm not in the dryer yet. I'm like hanging on the line. So I'm washed, but I'm not like wrung out yet. But I can't see myself in like a head to toe Supreme fit. Like that's not really me. My kit is more refined. I'm more Ralph. You know what I mean? But I do like their camp caps. I love the accessories they do. That's the extent of it. And a couple of their pants. Like there's a pair of camo track pants that they did, I think last year, that I'm looking for. Really like them. And there's not a lot of branding. It's just a camo track pant, but I like the cut, so I might cop them. We'll see if I can get a decent price. I don't get my head chopped off. I might cop that. But the Supreme Dunk is the legend, right? The original cement colorways are stuff of myth. Legend has it their shadow once killed a small dog. The black color is my favorite. The black cement. The white cement's dope too, but that black cement Dunk Low is so simple. It's just crucial. Very, very dope. And then they did a red pair a couple years later. Actually, a while later. They did a red cement Dunk. Of course, they have the Dunk Highs with the gold stars. I love Supreme's Nikes. I can't front. I even like their Vans. And I'm not a Vans guy, But Supreme, the way they rock footwear is really cool. I know the tailwinds they did weren't a big they weren't a big fan favorite, but the ACG model they did in the 4 neon colors, I got the green. I love them, dude. People hate on them, but I think the green joints are fire. Even the pink joints are fire. I like ACGs. Like I said, I'm an old dude, so I like Supreme for that. But right now they're doing Dunks again, and it looks kind of generic with a little star on the back panel, and that's cool. Like, it is what it is. They're gonna sell out like a meh. They're gonna sell out like, dude, with the absolute quickness. So if you want them, keep on the lookout for that. I know this holiday, the bread. I don't like using the word bread, BRED, for black and red. It wasn't around when I was out there doing work. And it just feels a little bit fake to me. But it is what it is, so I'll use it. The Bread 11s are coming back this holiday, and they will be in the original cardboard-looking box with the orange and the black. So the OG Jordan 11 box is back with the Red 11s. I hope that the taping around the patent leather is white, like the top of the patent leather. I love the contrast of the white and the black. It just looks original, because back in the day, they used to actually color the patent black. So you could still see the white underneath, like at the very top, the edges. I love that look. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that, but I know the original box is back. And also, Jordan is jumping on the new what the wave, because, you know, that's been around for only 2 seconds. No one's ever done a what the sneaker. First of all, the only what the I acknowledge is Wallace, which is the Dunk. What the Dunk is one of my grizzy grails. Like, if I could get a what the Dunk, dude, we're talking about piece of my liver. I don't know whoever would want that. You could put a piece of my liver on Grailed right now, and it would sit for infinity. But we're talking about a kidney. Like, I'd give a tip of a finger for a pair of what the Dunks. Now, all what I just said right there is me being facetious. So yeah, fall back on that. But for real, when I use two for reals, dude, I am so serious with it. But dude, oh my God, the what the Dunk is amazing. The way they released it, the theme, the models they chose, and where they put all the pieces, such a fire sneaker. I hope one day to own one. It's like a dream of mine, but the longer it takes, the less likely it is. Because you got all these rappers out there probably wearing them now. So, you know, because Travis Scott made it cool to wear Dunks again. I just checked out the dude's Instagram. He's wearing some of the firest Dunks of all time. I never looked at his Instagram before. I don't know why, but he has a special on Netflix. I checked it out. I respect Travis for his individuality and the fact that he's into fashion, and I actually like his music for all the new dudes that are out there. He's really creative, you know. But yeah, dude, the Dunks that he chose, and I think he gets them all from Croatian out of Project Blitz. And shout out to them, dude. Croatian style's been out forever, dude. What a collection of kicks that dude has. Anyway, there's one of those tangents that I'm known for. I'm known in the 5 boroughs. My tangent game is unparalleled. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I went in. You guys got fat while I was in jail. That was my Christopher Walken right there. Anyway, yeah, the what the Jordan 4. So they're taking a what the Jordan 4, and it looks like just a white pair of 4s with a couple color variants. And, you know, I guess it's cool, right? You know, am I into it? Yeah, a little bit. You know, I like Jordan 4s, but I'll just stick with my white cements, call it a day, and absolutely fall back. So, yeah, that's cool. Whatever. New Balance. Every year they do gray day. You know, like, yeah, hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Buster, where you at? Can't crap with me, cause I know I got my shit on. Yeah, dude, Dre Day. So New Balance does Gray Day. That is so gangster for a brand like New Balance. If anybody doesn't know, ask somebody, because New Balance has been doing gray the way that gray is meant to be done since the days of Juicy. Watched you play Columbo, Picasso. Yeah. So for the longest, the color gray has been done to perfection by the people over at New Balance. You can't front on it. Could never be fronted on. They are the gray and navy masters, right? So they do Gray Day, and they got a couple pairs of 997s. One they took off on one pair. Of course, they're gray. They took off the logo, the infamous letter N. They took it off the side, and they just put text, and it just says New Balance established. I don't know why I like it. I don't know why it hits for me, but yeah, dude, that's an absolute cop. But yeah, so I wanted to give a shout out to Gray Day and all the people over there at New Balance for holding it down. Of course, my allegiances lie. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is. And I think my first tattoo, I'm just going to get an N. Just a random N somewhere on my physique. I haven't figured out yet. Maybe I'll get it on the bottom of my foot. Anyway, all right. So what else we got? All right, Adidas. I see you over there, Three Stripes. I see you, Trefoil. You're signing Ninja? Ninja? The kid with the green hair that plays video games? Okay, so I'm not the market for the intended audience for this maneuver, right? But I don't play video games like that. I play Madden, right? Madden is its own entity. I'm not over there with playing whatever. I don't even know a game. That's how out of it I am. I used to be back in the day, dude. Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. Catch me in 007. Catch me in GoldenEye, dude. Yo. Catch me on a good day in GoldenEye, dude. I'll have the golden gun, and I will absolute murk you from 100 yards. You won't even know what happened. All you'll see is my character run by like a South Park character over top of your corpse and just jumping up and down generically. That's all you'll see, dude. You know, we could do proximity mines. We could go one-on-one proximity mines, dude. All right? So I'm just putting that out there, dude. You don't want none of this. But Ninja apparently is gifted in the realm of Fortnite. So we got a contract with Adidas. Now, I know that makes complete sense to everybody else out there. But to me, do you need footwear to play Fortnite? I haven't played it. Maybe you have to run around while you're doing it. I don't know. But it seems like a little bit of a stretch. Like it seems like a stretch Armstrong, but it's cool. Kind of missed me, with all that. But maybe that's something that's really popular, and I'm just like, I'm not with it. You know what I mean? Like I said, washboard. So it is what it is. Shout out to them for that. Gore-Tex. All right, let me put it like this. I am a Gore-Tex fiend. I love Gore-Tex. I love the logo. I love its function and its fashion. When those two things meet, I'm in line. Like, whenever something has a purpose, when it has a vision, when the vision is met on both ends, looks good, performs good. That's the height of everything I want in any kind of product. Like, if something, like, the reason why Jordans were dope is because you could play ball in them and then you could wear them when you're walking home from the court. Like, either way, like function and fashion. When they meet, dude, I'm in. And Nike's always been really good with mixing those two things. They have a pair of Air Force Ones, which is one of the best sneakers of all time. Let's be real. Bruce Kilgore, the 1982 absolute banger of the fucking century, the Air Force One. I like the all-white high top strap with the gum bottom. Something about them, they're dirty, that's why I got them. I keep them strapped and laced and come about them. The first person that damn near touched them shot. If you look and see lime green forces, it's crispy. You couldn't hit my staff, you had a personal genie. I like the limited edition, the khaki and army green, patent leather pinstripe. See how I do the string. Yeah, I just did a whole dance while that was just happening right there, dude. Absolute meticulous with this. So, yeah, the Gore-Tex AF1s are coming out. They're just a basic shoe, but they're Tex. It's that Tex. You could be out there jumping in puddles and have your socks stay bone dry. All things are coming up, Millhouse. So, next we have Adidas coming 8 years late with the Washington Huskies Ultra Boost 1.0. Moment of silence for the folks at Adidas who thought that would just bring back the brand. I don't know, guys. I think you missed that one. You might want to consolidate. you might want to go talk to somebody. Dope shoe though. The purple and the gold on a 1.0 pattern looks amazing. Not going to front. Will I cop? Absolutely not. But can I respect it? Yeah, it's cool, right? But a few years ago, oh my God, the hype beasts would be clawing each other's eyeballs out to get them. I still love the 1.0 pattern. I'm more partial to 2.0, but it is what it is. Nice shoe, but just a little bit late, right? The Arizona State and the Miamis are still way better, right? But yeah, not worth like $1,000. And when you look at StockX prices, It's so up and down with these different types of shoes and these different brands. It's really incredible to think that like a couple of years ago, some of these Ultra Boost models and colorways were selling for crazy money. And right now you can get it like a little over retail or sometimes like 100 over retail. Like certain ones are still up there, like Woodwoods, Hype Beasts, like certain mock-ups are still super expensive, but other ones are very affordable, which is kind of crazy. What else we got? All right, Jordan brand, right? It's very odd when I see Jordan brand or Nike or any brand take one of their heritage models, right? Their heirloom status pieces and flip it. Now, Jordan has flipped every single sneaker they have. At one point, they took an Air Force One and an Air Jordan and they fucked, right? And then they came out with a oddity of a fusion, they called it, right? I know a lot of you kids don't know about fusions, right? Now, a couple of them were actually okay. Like, I'm not going to front. I actually had a couple. I think I had a pair of 4s or 3s. Anyway, here's the rub, though. The quality on those shoes, whether you want to hate it or love it, the underdog is on top, right? The quality was insane, right? I'm for real. Like, no, all jokes aside, the packaging they came in, a slide, a drawer box with an insert, like they spared no expense when they made these fusions back then. Why? Like, why not just give that attention to detail to all your models, right? Now they're going to put out a Jordan 1, and instead of having the archaic, small, minuscule, wimpy, regular airbag in the heel, they're going to give you Zoom air cushioning in the same tooling. Like the midsole is going to look exactly the same, right? You're not going to know it's Zoom from the outside looking in. So the naked eye won't be able to tell that you're zooming it, but your feet are going to be like, you know, ba-dang, da-dang, 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 come, baby, baby. Yeah, your feet are going to be feeling it. But, you know, the other people around you aren't going to know that your shits aren't, you know, hereditary. You know, your shits are zooming, right? Which I think is cool. Like, you want to get into the new style, right? But I don't like what Adidas did. Adidas took their heirloom models and they threw Boost on them. But like one of the biggest travesties ever. Well, I think they did like a shell toe, and they made Boost pop out the sides, like literally you stepped on something and it shot out the sides. Like it was just these two these two chunks of Boost that were just like falling out of the midsole, and it looked awful. And I know everybody else thinks that. I'm not standing on a hill by myself yelling this shit. It was terrible. That was when they thought that Boost was the only way their brand could succeed. Talking about put all your Boost balls in one basket. Jesus. Oh my God. What a bad move that was. But Boost is still the best cushioning. Like, let's be real. It's amazingly comfortable. That's how I shat on something and then clean it up, right? What else can I talk about as far as sneakers, guys? Right? When you look at footwear in general, there are so many directions that you can go. Like, people all love different things. Like, I like boots. Shout out to the boot god, Dallas Penn. Like, I'm all about boots. Timberlands, right? Vask from back in the day. Who remembers lugs? Yo, lugs were actually in style at one point in my life. Like, if you had a pair of lugs, you were doing okay, right? The quality was okay, right? That was when the jerseys were really popular. I can remember I was wearing a Curtis Martin jersey with a pair of lugs and some jean shorts and a bucket hat, and I thought I was crushing life. I saw a picture of myself from back then. Looks like I was crushing Klonopin. What was I thinking, man? Oh my God. You ever look at pictures of yourself and wonder what you were feeling at that moment? Oh my God. Anyway, I look at different footwear and it brings back moments of my life, right? It's almost like snapshots of your past when they retro all these models, which is why I think I dig retro so much in general. And I see Polo. For those that don't know, I am a lifelong Polo fanatic. I used to work for Polo right out of high school. Loved it. 50% off everything. It was great. Met a lot of great people. I actually miss working there. I wish I could get like a 1 day a week position there just for the discount. But what Polo's been doing is they caught the retro bug for a while. And they were dropping these heirloom pieces that you would never get your hands on that are probably falling apart. And they put them back out in quote unquote limited quantities. Now, I believe them half the time when they say they're limited, but the other half of the time I'm like, come on, dude, how limited are they really? Are you trying to make money or not? But I see a couple of things of what they're doing. I think it looks cool. We'll see what happens. But in your guys, the way you look at fashion, at your kit, for those who don't know, your kit is how you present yourself. Like, it's before you leave the house, what do you put on? I wear a watch, right? I don't wear a lot of accessories. A watch is part of my kit. I have a small sterling silver chain that means a lot to me. It has a little charm on it. It's personal. That's for me. That's not really for anybody else. For the most part, that's it. I usually wear a hat, Rack also. Rack's a hat, dude. We know rock hats. Some people do, some people don't. I'm one of those cats that rocks hats, right? And that rhymed. I didn't even try to do that. And your kit is very important, right? As far as cross-branding goes, Polo can be mixed with any kind of sneaker or anything like that. But if you're wearing a pair of Nikes and you put on some Adidas socks and it's visible, you need to fall all the way back. Like, how did you walk out of the house like that? That is a violation on every single level. And for those that know, like, come on, dude, back me up here. I'm not the only one dying on this hill. Well, like, you have to know that that's definitely a violation, right? As we're getting through this podcast, I'm starting to think, right? As I take a swig of straight vodka. Of course, that was a joke. It was water. I'm going to get into story time with Crispy. Ready? Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. Some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. There was a tour called Lyricist Lounge. It was an album. It was amazing. Some of the people that were up and coming at the time, it was like Cypher Complete, Roscos. This was the people at the concert. Cypher Complete, Roscos, Common, De La Soul, KRS-One, Royce da 5'9", Eminem, and I'm missing a few. Like, it was ridiculous, guys. This concert was absolutely insane. It was at the Electric Factory, and Eminem had not blown up yet. Hi, my name is Who had not dropped nationwide yet. Infinite was out. Backpackers knew about him. But for the most part, he was not the Eminem that we know today, right? So the show starts. I believe Roscos and Cypher Complete were the first two out the gate. And they were okay, right? And Eminem comes on, and he has Royce da 5'9" as his hype man, right? Like, they come out together. And the microphone is having issues. Like, the mic was a cordless mic, and whether the battery, who knows what was wrong with this mic, but it wasn't working perfectly. And Eminem could tell right away, right? To set the scene, we're all backpackers. We're all in there. We're all about lyrics and hip hop, right? So I'm probably passing around black books, probably on a couple substances, definitely on weeds in the air. It was a great mood, right? And he starts off with, I think he did. Hi, my name is. Now, that's not like a big backpacker friendly song, right? And the audio was like cutting in and out. And then he started to do, I just don't give him. Like he started to do that. And halfway through, the microphone just cut and it just died. And he threw the microphone in the crowd. And a melee broke out. He gets booed off stage, right? Chewed up, spit out, booed off stage. Literally. Not making any of this up. And I believe Roscos had also had problems with his microphone prior to him coming out. So they should have fixed that, dude. He should have never been in that position. And Philly's a little restless. We're waiting for De La. We're waiting for KRS. We're waiting for Common, right? We're waiting for these big names to come out and kill it. And the openers, when you're an opener, like, you got to be good, dog. You do. So Eminem, and nobody knew who Eminem was at this point, or I'll say 90% of the people didn't know who he was at this point. So anyway, he leaves. He only did like a song and a half. So later that evening, the show went on, right? I think Common came out next, whatever the case may be. But I'm by the bar. And at this point, I'm like maybe 17, I think. 16, 17. And we got up near the bar. And Eminem is at the bar. And the girl that he was with was taller than him. Good looking girl, right? So me and my man Bri were like, damn, like, wasn't that dude that got booed off stage? Like, isn't that him? So we go over, we introduce ourselves, and we were like, yo, man, that really sucks about the microphone. Like, I was trying to make him feel better. Like, I feel bad for people. Like, like I said, dude, I'm a people person, man. I actually felt for him because that must feel awful to come to a different city, get on stage, do your best, and just get shredded. So he like looks at me and he's like, yeah, like I'll get mine. Like, you know, like he was like amped. So I guess he had a couple drinks and the evening proceeds to go on. So fast forward, awesome concert. KRS-One brings people on stage to break dance, to step into a world, killer. People are breakdancing. My buddy Ian Coyle gets up on stage, no relation. He gets up on stage. He's doing windmills and backspins. It was dope. Great show. So maybe at like midnight, the show's like winding down and we go outside to smoke. Dudes are selling whippets, nitrous balloons flying, and there's a circle. There's a cipher going on outside. So we walk over and it's M, and he's flipping, dude. Dude, whole new respect for him. So he gets shredded at a concert, gets booed off stage, proceeds to go out front and take on all comers in a freestyle battle out front of the Electric Factory. Awesome experience, dude. Really, really cool. And I had so much more respect for him. You know, that night, we're outside. I actually passed out from doing whippets, right? Like I literally like went out like a ton of bricks hit the ground. Now I was on many other substances that night. So the whippet just kind of put me out. I wake up and I'm like, I come to right away and I'm like, damn. And I'm a big dude. So when I fall, like I fall. And I think I was wearing like a white Columbia windbreaker. That was shredded. That was awful. That was all black and shit. And I remember a couple minutes later, I see a van pull up and it's a duck down van. And in the van is all of boot camp. And I mean Black Moon, I mean Helta, OGC. They have like two whole carloads in this big ass duck down van. So Drew gets out and I'm like, oh my God, mind you, I said it in my last podcast. I'm a huge boot camp click fan. So I'm like, Drew, I'm like, oh my God. He's like, yo, he shakes my hand and I'm like, dude, yo, like I'm a huge fan. Like Starang Wonder, like, oh my God, like, holy shit, are you guys performing? And he's like, yo, get this kid a tape. He goes into the truck and the van and they hand me a VHS, a behind the scenes duck down, not for sale VHS tape, right? And I'm so geeked. So we go and we bum rush the venue to get back in. And boot camp performs from like midnight until like 2 a.m. All their hits, and they were doing Magnum Force at the time. So a lot of it was just Sean Price, Rock Nest Monster, and OGC. It was LaFleur, Skolska. It was those dudes were doing predominantly most of the show. That's what they were like pushing at the time. But Buckshot was there, 5 Foot, Evil D, like the whole crew was there. And it was amazing. I cherished that part almost as much as getting to shoot the shit with Eminem. You know what I mean? Fast forward, like I'd say 3 months, not even. I'm at home eating a bowl of Fruit Loops. My phone rings and it's my boy Bri. And he's like, turn on MTV. I'm like, what? He's like, dude, turn on MTV. I switch the channel and what do I see? Hi, my name is who? My name is what? Slim Shady. I'm like, no way. I'm like the boot off stage dude. Holy shit. And Eminem fucking took over the world. So it just goes to show you can get shit on one day and then 3 days later be the biggest, the hottest thing smoking. Like, holy shit, what a turnaround. All it took was he had drive, dude. He didn't let anybody tell him he wasn't dope. He never stopped. I have so much respect for him, and I always will. When I see what he had to go through, like traveling around on a fucking tour bus with these huge acts, like he knows who De La is. He knows who KRS-One is. He knows, dude, Common Sense was wearing like a nurse outfit, like scrubs. And he was spinning on his head, like, dude, doing fucking, Common can breakdance, by the way. And, like freestyling, like it was just a great performance. They all did. But M didn't really show his worth in that show. So a lot of people didn't get to really respect his gangster. A lot of people didn't get to see his talent that night. But since then, we have all seen his lyrical ability, right? But yeah, that's the story of the Lyricist Lounge show at the Electric Factory, headlined by De La and KRS-One. But the momentous moments for me were the Boot Camp Click encore 2-hour-long set and meeting a brown-haired, not yet blown up Eminem. Wow, just amazing, dude. Just such a cool experience, right? And I actually found a picture from that night of Eminem on stage with Royce. Somewhere on Instagram I saw it. And it's just so cool to relive moments like that. And I'm so glad that I went to concerts like that with just my boy Bry or just like a couple people. And I got to see all these artists, like, you know, early on. And the Electric Factory is a great venue for that. If you have never been in Philadelphia, it's an intimate vibe. It's not like real big. It's not huge. A nice little bar area. If you drink, if that's your twist. But yeah, so that's my little Eminem story. Now, a lot of people probably won't believe me, right? It is what it is. I don't know why I would make some bullshit like that up. But yeah, it was a really cool evening. Now, I just want to preface this whole episode by saying that our podcast, moving forward, is gonna be big. I got a feeling. For some reason, my whole life I've been looking for something like this. I've always wanted to be involved in the sneaker world, in one way or the other. I just never thought it was possible. Just like with anything in life, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I always had the what you know. Like I'm a wealth of sneaker knowledge, right? Because I love it. When you love something, truly love it, and you always have, and it's organic for me, as I'm sure it is for a lot of, if you listen to me talk this far, you're like me. As a kid, footwear always piqued my interest. I mean, as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster, right? No, but really, I always looked at footwear. When I meet somebody, what's the first thing you look at? Come on, you know what it is. You can tell a lot by a person's foot game. You just look down, and if they're wearing a pair of all black low top Air Force One leathers, you steer clear of that dude, right? If they're wearing some wheat suede Timbs, unlaced all the way with some shorts, you know where that dude's been in life, right? It's these little tendencies that we have when we meet somebody, when you size somebody up. If they're wearing a pair of sneakers that not a lot of people know about, right? That's for them. Like right now, I'm wearing sneakers and stuff, New Balance, right? Not a lot of people know what these are, but I do, right? And that could spark up a conversation with somebody else that does, because there's not many people. When you walk down the street, what's everybody wearing? Some generic shit, some runner, but when you see that one person wearing that crazy Nike fucking Tailwind from back in the day, that you know that they know. It's an unsaid thing. It's like a head nod. You know, it's a little like, all right, kid, like I see you. Like, you know, it's that fraternity that we've built, that you don't even have to say anything. It just goes without saying. I always wanted to be a part of. I always felt alone, right? Parents left when I was a kid. 7th birthday. I was told they went on vacation. Just crazy shit happened to me in my life. And I always felt like I would end up alone. Like I always had that fear. So as soon as I got to grade school and I saw other kids like me and I would get picked on, and as soon as somebody else stuck up for me and like had my back, that was it. I was hooked. I would go to the ends of the earth for my friends back then. Like, they meant more to me than my own family. And it's funny, my family told me, they were like, hey, when you grow up in life, they're not going to be there for you when things get rough. Your family is the ones that are going to have your back when the going gets tough. And I would say, no, you don't understand. They are my family. They're the ones that are going to be there. Like, you know, they mean more to me than anything. And you know what the truth of the matter is my family was right. At the end of the day, we all grow and you grow apart. And we're all on our own journey in this life, right? And when the shit hits the fan, who are the people putting money on your books when you're locked up, right? Who are the people coming to feed you when you're hungry? Who are the people when you're sick laying in bed bringing you that bowl of soup? I'm sorry, but it's your family, man. And I've made peace with my decision to really go the route of my friends. And the couple friends that I still have to this day they're my family. Like they're in my family. Like I don't even consider them friends, right? That's family. And they would do anything for me and vice versa. So that traverses everything. Like, but there's only like a handful of them. And remember when you were a kid, you didn't have a cell phone. So like, well, I'm speaking for myself. I would know all these phone numbers by heart. And those would be the people I would call every day. I would, everybody's got to meet up the park, which is a playground, right? We call it the park. We're all going to meet up the park, right? Yeah. We're going to go down the woods, have a keg, blah, 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 blah. Yada, 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 whatever. Everything, all this stuff was so important to me, was this social aspect, because I felt like I was a part of something bigger than myself. And I went hard for it. I still rep it to this day because it was such a big part of my life. It made me feel good to be accepted, right? And I still yearn for that. I think it's, I don't know if it's a flaw. I don't know if it comes from having a split up parent situation. I don't know if it's definitely a direct result. What am I saying? It is. When you're a kid and you look at your parents, you don't look at them like they're a couple, right? You don't look at them like they met, they fell in love, they had a kid. You look at them like they're your parents. That's all they're here for. When you're a little kid, that's how you look at things. Your brain's not mature enough to realize, like, yeah, they had a fight last night because dad came home a little bit tipsy from work, a little late. He missed dinner. That's why they're arguing. Like, you think it's your fault. And you internalize all this shit. Now, this is years of therapy for me to understand why I am the way I am, right? Because I am whatever you say. Anyway, it took me years to kind of sort all this shit out, why I act the way I do. And that's part of the reason why I've been able to get my life together. But the piece on fitting in, I've always looked for a career that would fill that void. A place that I could feel like I'm a part of it and I'm building it and it represents me, I represent it, and I would go crazy hard for that. Like, I always wanted the opportunity, and I haven't found it yet, but I feel like it's close. And watch out. When I sink my teeth into something, like, it's going to be crazy and it's going to be awesome. And like talking about like I'm very dedicated. I'm dedicated to my job now, and it's a 9-to-5, right? I hate it, but I do my absolute due diligence. I do my best every single day because that's the way I was taught. My grandfather used to tell me, whether you're a truck driver or a brain surgeon, be the best you can be, right? Because why not? You're there anyway. Why not try to be the best? Why not try to do your best? So I do that. And I'm hoping that soon I'll be able to do that in real life on something that I can sink my teeth into and be accepted and really crush it. But the podcast, I feel like, is something that we've built. And it's not very big. Like, let's be real. I'm probably talking to 6 people. But those 6 people, like, I mess with you guys, and I really appreciate anybody that takes the time to listen. And everybody that dropped a comment to me about the last episode, dude, thank you so much. Like, you have no idea how much that stuff means to people when you do that. And even when I was on YouTube, for those that don't know, I used to have a YouTube channel, and I had like 15,000 subscribers, and I had terrible tech. My camera was the Fisher-Price camera. I did no editing. The only reason people came was for me. And that felt great. And I never had that kind of feedback. Like, I've always been an underachiever. almost on purpose. Because I always felt like if you try really hard and you fail, that would hurt more than failing on purpose, right? Like if you give me a test and it's a Scantron sheet, which is like, like A, B, C options, if I would fill out abacabadabba on purpose and fail, then I would be cool with that, rather than if I studied my ass off and failed. Now that's unfortunate that's the mindset that I had, and I didn't have anybody telling me that was a bad thing to do. Now I dealt with that. I moved on, and I'm glad that I was intelligent enough to get an education in the process, right? But if you relate to anything I'm saying, like, just know that you're not alone. Like, there are so many people out there in the same boat. Like, people I thought that had their shit together. When you look at people's Instagram, realize that that's not their life. Those are little snapshots of their day. When you see somebody out looking at the veranda, sitting on the veranda, looking out at a beautiful sunset, that's a 1-second snapshot of what they did that day. You don't know what they did earlier that day. Their mom could be in hospice care. Earlier that day, their dog could have died. Like, they could have a terrible, terrible day. And this is just the one snapshot they show you. Everybody has their own ups and downs. Everybody has their own struggles, right? It's what you do in the meantime to move forward. And my thing was, I used to have 1 foot in tomorrow and 1 foot in yesterday and shit all over today. And that's one of those, like, old school terminologies for, like, I'm always thinking about, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'm pissed off about what happened yesterday, and I'm not focusing on what I could be doing right now, and I'm done with that. Well, I have been for a while, and I've been doing a lot better, let's just say. And I don't know if you're going to get any kind of this talk in any other kind of podcast, especially about sneakers, but I feel like it needs to be said because not a lot of people touch on it. And last week when I talked about not being happy, I'm not saying I'm depressed by any stretch of the imagination, because I'm not. At the end of the day, I'm proud of myself for still being alive. I'm proud of myself for talking to you guys right now. And there are moments of happiness that I have every single day, right? But as far as, like, when your head hits the pillow at night, are you being the best version of you, right? And I'm not right now, but I think I will be. And that's something I have to look forward to. And hopefully I'll be able to feel good at night when my head hits the pillow soon, right? Because if you're lying to yourself, there's nothing worse. And I've done that my whole life. And I don't want to do that anymore, right? There's no reason to put on a fake front. And I always would look to people that would always tell the truth, right? Like, when somebody says, like, oh, how you doing? Like, oh, I'm all right. Like, can't complain. Like, that's a polite way of being like, you don't want to hear it anyway. You know what I mean? But we all do that. When you really think about it, like, everybody has a bad day from now and again. Like, we're all human, right? But I wanted to just touch on this again because I did get a lot of really great feedback last episode. And Rack will be back, right? He is off right now in Australia. He's actually hunting Tasmanian devils with I'm not even gonna keep going with this. He's busy, right? And he's crushing it, and he's making moves, never movies. And well, actually, he makes movies too. Dude's vicious with the edit game. But him and I are going to be doing big things, right? Because he has a lot of these. His qualities are like the opposite of mine, I feel like. And I feel like I can help him out with the things I'm really good at. And I feel like as a team, him and I are very good. And moving forward, I think that's going to show. And hopefully we could do big things, And the podcast, wherever it goes from here, who knows? But as far as when it's just me, I don't think it's going to do very well with just me talking for an hour. But I figured I would come because he said, like, oh, you can take a week off or you can go in and do it. I'm like, I'll go in, right? Because I didn't want to leave you guys hanging with the last 10 minutes of the last episode and just leave it there like that. You know what I mean? Like a mulligan. Nah, I'm not with that. I'm okay. And I'm glad that I put that out there because it makes me accountable. And I'm glad you guys reached out. I want to say thank you to everybody that's had my back and that used to watch my YouTube videos. They're terrible, by the way. I actually went back and looked at one just because I forgot that they're even there. I think I got an AdSense check for like the first time in like months. And I was like, oh shit, like these videos are still up. Like, anyway, yeah, don't go and look at the YouTube channel. It's awful. But in the future, maybe I'll make videos again. Who knows? But the climate of YouTube is so crazy. I don't know if I even fit in. Like, where do I fit in between I'm making my mailman hype beast and I spent $50,000 in Gucci? Like, where does Crispy fit in with, like, I got these New Balances and they're all crazy. Heat rocks. You know what I mean? Kick rocks. My steez doesn't really fit in with the climate, you know? I played one-on-one basketball with a homeless guy and gave him $2 million. Yo, there's this cat, Mr. Beast. His whole channel is him giving money away to like random people. Like, I gave my best friend a Lamborghini Countach, and then everybody's thumbnail is the ghost face from Scream, like the surprise face, like the Home Alone when he slaps the fucking aftershave on. It's that face, like, oh, it's the surprise face with the huge letters with a bunch of money in it, like a huge money amount, like $50,000. It always has to be big money. And then it'll be like, I did such and such with this amount of money. Whoa! Like that is the algorithm for YouTube right now in our world, right? And I see all you guys, right? I see it all. And I fall all the way back because that's your guys' lane. And I hope you're happy with that content because it's riveting. Yo, man, I went to Melrose today. It was lit. Yeah. Yo. This one kid, like, because I do my research, I try to figure out why people like it. One kid was like, yo, man, Yeezys are dead. Yeezys are played. And I'm like, yo, what? No, they're not. Yo, they're selling more than ever. Like, are you out of your mind? Like, just because they make more of something doesn't mean it's played, dog. Like, you're crazy. Holy shit. And I don't even mess with Yeezys like that, but I know they're not dead. Man, yo, people are nuts. Some of the stuff people say is so crazy. Like, let alone me. So who am I to judge, right? But, yeah, I don't know if YouTube's going to be a thing I jump in and out of anytime soon, but I would have to think of where my niche would be because I don't think, like, what would be another? I played basketball one-on-one with a priest, and he dunked on me, and, you know, I'm going crazy. I'm losing it right now, but you guys get the picture, right? Big amount of money, surprise face, right? Whoa, and like there always has to be something blurred out that you can't see, like the silhouette of a shoe. I got these early, and they're gonna rock the world. Whoa, you know. And shout out to, I know you guys have to do that, right? And some people do it really well, right? Like some people are still doing sneaker YouTube very well. The only videos that I watch are I can't even like really go through them all, and I'll probably forget, right? But watch Mr. Fomer Simpson. Dude's been out. Him and his brother Buckets have been out since I was making videos, right? And I like to think that I kind of had a little bit of influence in some of these people, right? Just to start doing videos. Here's me, like putting myself in the situation. But Mr. Fomer Simpson and Buckets, awesome stuff. They actually went and made a studio where they could get down to doing it. I respect those dudes so much. The hustle, everything. I love those dudes. Like, they could call me up and ask me for anything, and I would do it. Like, I consider them friends, right? Like, outside of YouTube type shit. Eddie Wynn, amazing channel, right? Shows fashion, shows kicks. Very personable and very smart. And his attention to detail is great, right? His fit videos, his editing, fire, right? Bullet RC. He does these, like, videos where he goes through Nike's upcoming releases. Good stuff. Camp Out, Mikey Dab, right? K Black, Tone of My Voice. They do the show weekly where they go through releases and they talk about topics. Love that shit. Tony D Too Wild, another cat that was doing videos from back in the day when I was doing them, still doing very well. Hess Kicks, still doing shit from back in the day. DJ Dells, I remember DJ Dell's videos from back in the day. He influenced me to start doing it, right? I know I'm going to be forgetting mad people. Shout out to Franelations. That cat has been doing it forever. These are all YouTubers that do like shoe reviews, other kinds of stuff like that. Sneak Geeks, who remembers that cat? Sneak Geeks, man. He used to have some really good videos back in the day. But I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of people. Shit. Zaya X used to make videos. He's still doing stuff, but he's more like just talking shit now. I like that shit. That's funny. And Just for Kicks 212. He's been a supporter of this podcast since day one. One of the most humble, down-to-earth cats on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Just thank you for supporting. Everybody out there, thank you for supporting this podcast. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for all the feedback. Too many to name. I appreciate you guys so much. Rack will be back soon. And yeah, we're just going to see where this goes. Thank you to everybody out there. This has been another episode, right? Playground Politics, Crispy Edition. Thanks, everybody. Hope you have a good day. Big things to come, right? Stay up. Mayfair. Yeah.